Okay. So as I alluded to when I started the podcast here, I don't know if you notice, but I do notice this that weather forecasts, at least this year it's been crazy how like I work outside sometimes. I do construction for myself. Um, so I sometimes if I'm working outside, I'm doing a fence, deck, things like that. I'll look at the forecast and I'll try and plan my week or my days out based on the forecast. Nah, can't do that anymore. I might as well just read a horoscope. It's about the same. I think the horoscope might actually hit more often than the forecast has lately. Today, for example, here where I am, said overcast, no chance of rain all day. Boom, rain. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. Anyways, I'm going to read this little article by Cosmos. I think it's a little bit older here. So somebody, I just did a Google search to see if I was crazy, and apparently I'm not crazy. Other people think that too. But here we go. So whatever the weather, how do they know? So I love to hate my weather app. A missed day out in the sun when it was predicted to rain, an absolute atrocity. Left in the cold without a coat after it was supposed to be balmy. Fire those frauds. Okay, this is a fluff article, but anyways, this is gonna kind of it says some stuff. The last few years in particular seem, at least anecdotally, to be worse than they used to be, and yet a Bureau of Meteorology (BOM) spokesperson told me that they reported a 2% improvement in forecast accuracy for 2021. So what is going on here? People still have this attitude that weather forecasts are always wrong. Well, they are. It's not an attitude. They just are. I could start logging them, and then you would see, but who has time for that? It's really interesting social science question. New Zealand weather and climate researcher James Renwick told me. I can trot out statistics and show graphs of improvements and explain the skill of the forecast. The 1 day forecast is almost perfect all the time now. No, it's not. Lies. The 2 day forecasts are almost as good. Yeah, this is bullshit. You're a liar. Because I know today it wasn't even right. So whatever. And yet people still have this attitude that weather forecasts are always wrong. And there are plenty of conspiracies and theories out there to back up these attitudes. Everything from COVID to earthquakes to climate change can be blamed for why the weather forecast just doesn't seem to be as good as it used to be. You've probably got your own theory picked up from a friend or of a friend. Well, okay, whatever. Um, Sometimes people say, "Oh, the weather is becoming less predictable." Well, that's not true, says Renwick. Maybe there's more extremes and they're always hard to forecast properly, but the basic patterns are the same as they were thousands of years ago, and they'll be the same 1,000 years into the future. Okay, really? No, they're not. We didn't have weather balloons. We didn't have whatever fucking satellites and shit like that to be able to see to track storms and things like that. So no, they're not the same. We should know when things are going to do certain things. We should know when it's going to be cloudy and when it's not going to be cloudy. That should be pretty easy, but we can't seem to get that right. I can understand maybe if like a system's moving in and you go, well, there's a chance of rain. They don't even say that. They'll say no chance of rain, rain. So I don't know what's happening. Um, they're just getting worse, and typically when people get worse at their job, shouldn't they just get fired? Um, what's this? It's the Chinese using HARP, HARRP. That's making the weather so bad. Yeah, what is that? HARP. Yeah, save me from looking it up, Joe. What's HARP stand for? Um, but yeah, just you have one job. You have forecasting. I can't rely on you for that. I can't rely on you to tell me the day of like what's going to happen. There's some fucking clouds moving in. Maybe it'll rain. Maybe it won't rain. I have to go outside and look up or wait till I get wet. Fuck, come on, man. It's getting absurd at this point. And like I said, if you can't do your job at least relatively well, because if horoscopes are beating you at this point with accuracy, I think it might be time to maybe call it. I don't know. That's just me.